Okay, so we're diving into this Julian Mantle thing today.
All right.
And if you haven't heard about this guy,
Yeah.
the basic idea is this is a lawyer
Right.
who takes this crazy trip to the Himalayas, learns from these sages, and like his life is never the same.
Yeah, it's like one of those stories. It's almost like out of a movie, right?
Exactly.
Like too good to be true.
Yeah, and I think that's why this deep dive is going to be so fascinating, because we're going to unpack these secrets that he learned
Yeah.
from these Himalayan sages. And I'm hoping we can get some real practical tools and insights that, you know, our listeners can use to create some positive change.
Absolutely. And I think what makes it so powerful is it's not just some esoteric stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually very practical
Right.
and relatable, and we're going to follow his journey step by step as he goes through these transformations,
I like.
looking at things like cultivating a positive mindset,
Right.
uncovering your life's purpose,
Hey,
and embracing the power of continuous self-improvement.
I'm in. All right, let's do it. So the first thing that struck me as I was going through Julian's story was this idea of the mind as a garden.
Yes, the extraordinary garden,
Okay.
as the sages refer to it. And they painted this very vivid picture of, imagine a garden, lush, vibrant, bursting with beautiful flowers.
Okay.
That's your mind.
Right.
But just like a garden can become overgrown with weeds,
Right.
our minds can become cluttered with negative thoughts,
Oh, yeah.
limiting beliefs,
Sure.
and just endless information overload.
It's so true, and it's so easy, especially now
Oh, absolutely.
with the internet, with our phones. Like,
It's everywhere.
you're just constantly bombarded with information. It's so easy to feel like your mind is this, like, totally overgrown garden.
Absolutely. And that's, I think, where what the sages have to say becomes really powerful.
Okay.
Because they really emphasize that we're not just passive observers of our thoughts.
Yeah.
We actually have the power to choose
Right.
what we cultivate
Okay.
in our mind.
Okay, so how do we do that?
That's the $1,000,000 question, right?
Right, because it's
Yeah.
one thing to say, like, oh, just think positive thoughts or
Right.
don't be negative. But
How do you actually do it?
yeah, our brains are kind of wired to.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
And the sages actually had a technique for that. They called it opposition thinking.
Okay.
And it's about consciously challenging negative thoughts with their opposite.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're feeling overwhelmed, instead of dwelling on that feeling of overwhelm,
Okay.
try shifting your focus to a sense of calm and capability.
So it's like giving your brain a different script to follow almost.
Precisely.
Okay.
And it might feel a little strange at first,
Right.
but the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes.
Okay.
And Julian himself found a really interesting way to kind of reinforce this.
What was that?
He started wearing a necklace of prayer beads,
Okay.
and every time he caught himself slipping into a negative thought pattern, he would move a bead
Oh, I like that.
as a physical reminder
Yeah.
to bring his focus back to the positive.
It's like a physical manifestation of what you're trying to do mentally.
Right. Like a tangible way to track your progress
I like
and
it.
stay on top of your mental game.
So speaking of mental game. Yeah.
This next part is where it got really interesting for me, this whole concept of the towering lighthouse.
Yes, the towering lighthouse.
Okay.
This one actually surprised me a bit because, you know, you think about these sages, all about meditation, inner peace. You wouldn't think they'd be too concerned with goals and ambition,
Right.
but they were actually very big on the importance of having a clear sense of direction in life.
That's so interesting because even when I think about like those monks who create the sand mandalas,
Yes.
it's such incredibly intricate and focused work.
It is.
Even though the purpose is to let it go.
Exactly.
But there's still that sense of purpose and direction
Absolutely.
that goes into the entire process.
And that's what the lighthouse represents.
Okay.
It's that beacon that guides ships through stormy seas.
And our purpose in life, what the sages call our dharma,
Okay.
is that beacon.
Okay.
That's what gives our life direction.
All right.
Helps us navigate the inevitable challenges that we face.
So dharma, okay, I have to admit, this is one of those words that I feel like I hear all the time,
Yeah.
but I'm never quite sure if I could define it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So what are we really talking about here?
So in its simplest form, dharma is your unique calling in life.
Okay.
The thing that you were put on this earth to do.
Okay.
It's about aligning your actions with your values and using your talents to make a positive impact.
So it's not just about finding a job you love.
Right.
It's about something bigger.
It's about something more. It's about finding that thing that lights you up,
Okay.
that makes you feel like you're truly fulfilling your potential.
Got it. So how do we figure out our dharma?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Right.
The sages believe that our dharma isn't something we find out there. It's something we cultivate from within.
Okay.
It's about tapping into those innate talents and passions.
Okay.
The things that really light us up, the things that make us feel most alive.
So it's about paying attention to those moments when you're like, yeah, this is it.
Exactly. Those are clues. And they actually had a 5-step method for uncovering and aligning with your dharma.
All right, lay it on me.
So the first step is visualization.
Okay.
They were all about creating a clear mental picture of what you want to achieve, of what your ideal life looks like.
So not just kind of having this vague idea, but getting really specific, really detailed.
Exactly. Because the more clearly you can see it in your mind's eye, the more real it becomes.
Okay.
And the more likely you are to actually take action towards it.
That makes sense. All right, so you've got that clear vision. What's next?
Step 2 is accountability.
Okay.
They understood the power of having someone or something to hold you accountable for your actions.
So like a mentor, a coach?
Could be a mentor, a coach, even a group of like-minded individuals who are all working towards similar goals.
So it's like having a workout buddy, but for your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone to cheer you on, keep you motivated, call you out when you start slacking.
I need to find me one of those. Okay, what's number 3?
Step 3, putting pen to paper.
All right.
The sages were big believers in the power of writing things down.
Makes it more real, right?
Absolutely. When you write down your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, it's like sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind saying, this is important. Pay attention.
Love it. Okay. I'm convinced from now on everything's going in writing. What's next?
Step 4 is celebrating the small wins.
Okay.
They understood that the journey towards any goal is made up of small steps.
Right.
And they really believed in acknowledging and celebrating those milestones along the way.
So it's not just about waiting until you get to the finish line.
Exactly.
It's about acknowledging all those little victories.
It's like giving yourself little rewards along the way.
I like it.
Which helps to keep you motivated and prevents you from getting discouraged.
Makes sense. Okay, last but not least, what's step number 5?
Step 5 is finding joy in the process.
Okay.
They emphasize that true fulfillment comes not just from achieving our goals, but from savoring the journey itself.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Precisely. It's about learning to appreciate each step of the process, even the challenges.
Okay.
Because they're all part of the growth experience.
All right, so we've got the extraordinary garden.
Yes.
We've got the towering lighthouse.
That's right.
Now let's talk about this sumo wrestler.
Okay.
Because this one sounds really interesting.
Yes, the sumo wrestler is a very important figure in another one of their fables.
Okay.
And he represents a crucial concept.
Kaizen.
Kaizen. Okay, that's a new one. What is Kaizen?
Kaizen is a Japanese philosophy that essentially means continuous improvement.
Okay.
It's the idea that small incremental changes made consistently over time can lead to significant progress and transformation.
So it's not about those drastic overnight makeovers.
Yeah, it's about cultivating those small positive habits that compound over time.
Think of it like building a house.
Okay.
You don't just have a finished structure overnight.
Right.
It requires laying a strong foundation, brick by brick, day by day.
Okay.
That's what Kaizen is all about.
So how does the sumo wrestler fit into all of this?
Well, imagine this massive sumo wrestler.
Okay.
9 feet tall, weighing over 900 pounds.
Okay.
You would think someone that size just naturally dominates.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But even a sumo wrestler starts somewhere.
Right.
They don't just wake up one day that large and powerful.
Right.
They get there through consistent effort, discipline, and a commitment to Kaizen, to continuous improvement.
So they're showing up every day.
Every single day they're training. They're pushing their limits. And gradually they become this unstoppable force.
It's like those athletes you see who are breaking world records.
Yes.
And it seems so effortless.
Right.
But, you know, behind the scenes, it's years of dedication.
Absolutely.
Of showing up every day and pushing past those perceived limitations.
And the sages believe that we all have that same capacity for growth and transformation within us.
Okay.
We might not be aiming to become a sumo wrestler.
Right.
But the principle is the same, whether it's improving our health, our relationships, our careers, our spiritual lives.
Okay.
Kaizen teaches us that it's those small, consistent actions that ultimately lead to the most extraordinary results.
I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
Yeah.
So we've got the extraordinary garden of our minds, which we cultivate through opposition thinking. We have our towering lighthouse, which represents our dharma, our unique calling in life.
That's right.
And now we have Kaizen, this art of continuous self-improvement embodied by the sumo wrestler.
You've got it. And here's the thing. They didn't just leave us with these abstract concepts.
Okay.
They actually provided 10 specific rituals designed to help us integrate these principles into our daily lives.
So they're giving us the what and the how.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They believed that by practicing these rituals consistently, we could unlock our true potential and create a more fulfilling and meaningful existence.
10 rituals. Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Right.
I love a good framework. What are we talking about here?
10
10 rituals, that sounds like a lot to implement.
does sound like a lot, right?
But I'm guessing these aren't your typical, like, you know, light a scented candle and meditate for an hour kind of rituals.
No, not at all. These are far from your typical self-care tips.
Okay.
These rituals are about actively shaping your reality, both internal and external.
I like it.
And they're designed to be incorporated into a daily life, not disrupted.
Right.
And in fact, Julian mentioned that altogether these rituals only took about an hour a day.
Okay, so an hour a day for a complete life transformation. I'll take it. What are we talking about here? What were some of the rituals that stood out to you?
Well, one that really resonates with me, especially in today's world, is the ritual of solitude.
Solitude, okay.
Yeah, taking some time for yourself,
Right.
disconnecting from the noise and distractions of everyday life.
Like hitting the reset button.
Yeah. Exactly. The sages believed that solitude is essential for self-discovery and growth.
Okay.
It's in those quiet moments, away from the demands of the external world, that we can truly connect with ourselves.
Right.
Hear that inner wisdom.
Okay.
And recharge our mental batteries.
I can feel my stress levels decreasing already just thinking about it.
Right.
So we've got solitude. What else?
The ritual of personal reflection is a powerful one.
Okay.
The sages placed great importance on self-awareness, on taking stock of our thoughts, our actions, our motivations.
Because it's like holding up a mirror to yourself at the end of the day and being like, all right, how did I do?
Exactly. It's about asking yourself questions like, what went well today?
Okay.
What could I have done better? Am I living in alignment with my values?
It's so easy to just let the day go by and not even think about that stuff.
Absolutely. We get so caught up in our to-do lists and our obligations that we forget to just check in with ourselves.
Right.
And see, are we actually living in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling?
Totally. So this ritual is about making that self-reflection a non-negotiable part of your day.
Exactly. It's a time to hit pause and gain some clarity.
Okay. I like it. What else?
Well, they were also big proponents of the ritual of early awakening.
Okay, early awakening.
Now, I know you mentioned you're not much of a morning person.
Notorious night owl, but I'm willing to hear them out.
Well, they believe that those early morning hours held a special kind of energy.
Okay.
A stillness and clarity that's really ideal for setting intentions for the day.
Okay.
They would wake up before sunrise, meditate, visualize how they wanted their day to unfold.
So that's almost like a way of getting ahead of the game.
Exactly. You're setting a positive tone before the craziness of the day begins.
Okay. I can see how that would be helpful. And, you know, you don't have to become like a super early riser overnight. Even just like shifting your wake-up time by 15, 20 minutes could make a difference.
Even small shifts can have a big impact.
Okay. All right. I'm willing to give it a try. What else?
Another ritual that I found really interesting was the ritual of laughter.
The ritual of laughter. Wait, are we still talking about these same sages who are all about solitude and early rising?
The very same ones. Believe it or not, they placed great value on laughter.
Really?
They believed that it had not only emotional benefits, but physical and spiritual benefits as well.
Interesting.
And they would actually start their days by intentionally making themselves laugh.
Wow.
Even if it felt a little silly at first.
That's kind of amazing. I love that they didn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that even amidst our pursuit of growth and self-improvement, we need to make space for joy.
Absolutely.
And lightheartedness.
I'm all about that. So they would start their day with laughter. Yeah. And did they find that that had any kind of impact on the rest of their day?
Yeah, they found that it had a ripple effect.
Okay.
It made them feel more optimistic and resilient throughout the day.
Okay. I am adding that to my morning routine for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got solitude reflection, early rising laughter, and I know there are a few more rituals we need to cover.
Yes, so another one that really stood out was the ritual of abundant knowledge.
Abundant knowledge.
Okay, the sages saw learning as a lifelong pursuit, a way to continuously expand our minds and perspectives.
So they were big readers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they were very intentional about what they read.
Okay.
They believed in feeding their minds with knowledge that was both nourishing and inspiring.
So not just scrolling through social media.
Not exactly.
Okay.
They were drawn to the classics works of literature, philosophy, history books that offered timeless wisdom and insights into the human condition.
So it's about quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Choosing books that challenge you, that inspire you, that help you to grow.
Yeah, make you think.
Absolutely. And they didn't limit themselves to books either.
Okay.
They believed in seeking out knowledge from a variety of sources, from mentors, from teachers, even from the natural world around them.
So it's about being open to learning from everywhere and everyone. All right, that makes sense. So we've got solitude reflection, early rising laughter, abundant knowledge. And we talked about this idea of Kaizen, the art of continuous improvement.
Right.
Are there any rituals specifically designed to cultivate that?
Yes. In fact, several of the rituals tied directly into Kaizen.
Okay.
Remember the sumo wrestler, that symbol of consistent effort and discipline?
Yes.
Well, the sages believed that true mastery in any area of life requires cultivating willpower and self-control.
Okay.
They had a saying, the pink wire cable is forged one strand at a time.
The pink wire cable, it's such a memorable image.
It is, isn't it?
It's a great reminder that even the most impressive feats are accomplished through those small, consistent actions.
Exactly.
It's about building those positive habits day after day.
Absolutely.
That eventually create those extraordinary results.
And one of the rituals that really embodies this idea is the ritual of simplicity.
Simplicity.
The sages believed in living with intention,
Okay.
in focusing on what truly matters and letting go of the rest.
So decluttering your life,
Exactly.
both physically and mentally.
They found that by simplifying their surroundings and their commitments,
Okay.
they had more time and energy to focus on the things that really matter to them.
That makes a lot of sense. It's so easy to feel scattered when you have a million things going on.
It is.
And it's like you're not really giving your full attention to any of them.
Right.
So simplifying things allows you to be more present, more focused.
Exactly. And this ties into another ritual, the ritual of purposeful action.
Okay.
The sages believed that our actions should be aligned with our values and with our overall life purpose, our dharma.
So it's not just about being busy, it's about being busy doing the right things.
Exactly. It's about asking yourself, does this activity serve my higher purpose? Is this the best use of my time and energy right now?
That's a great question to ask yourself throughout the day.
It is.
Because it's so easy to just get caught up in that whirlwind of activity and not really think about where you're headed.
Exactly. This ritual reminds us to step back and make sure that we're moving in the right direction.
I like it. So purposeful, action simplicity. What else have we got?
Well, they were also very big on the ritual of mindful consumption.
Okay, mindful consumption. So being aware of what you're putting into your body.
Yes, but it goes beyond just food.
Okay.
It's about being mindful of everything that you're consuming.
So what you're reading, what you're watching.
Exactly who you're spending time with. Anything that could potentially influence your thoughts, your emotions, your energy levels.
It's like being selective with the information you allow into your mind.
Precisely.
Just like you would be selective with the food that you put into your body.
Exactly. You want to choose things that nourish you,
Right.
that uplift you,
Yeah.
rather than things that drain you or deplete you.
Okay. I like it. Mindful consumption. So that's food, that's information. What about physical well-being? I'm assuming they were big on that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Physical health was very important to them.
Okay.
And that's where the ritual of physical movement comes in.
Physical movement. Okay, so we're talking exercise here.
Yes. But they weren't necessarily hitting the gym or running marathons.
Yep.
It was more about finding forms of movement that brought them joy and helped them to feel more connected to their bodies.
So it could be anything from yoga to hiking to dancing.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you,
Right.
and making it a regular part of your routine.
Okay, so we've got solitude reflection, early rising laughter, abundant knowledge, simplicity, purposeful action, mindful consumption, physical movement. That's quite a list.
What's the final ritual?
Well, the 10th ritual is perhaps the most important of all, a ritual of gratitude.
Gratitude. Okay.
The sages believe that cultivating a deep sense of gratitude for all that we have in our lives is essential for happiness and fulfillment.
It's about focusing on the good, even when things are tough.
Exactly. It's about appreciating the little things,
Okay.
the people in our lives, the experiences that bring us joy.
Because what you focus on expands, right?
Exactly.
So if you're constantly dwelling on the negative,
Okay.
that's what you're going to see more of.
Yeah. But if you make an effort to appreciate the good, even the small things, you'll start to notice more good things happening in your life.
And they had a very simple practice for cultivating gratitude.
Okay.
Every day, they would take a few moments to reflect on at least 3 things that they were grateful for.
So simple, but so powerful.
Exactly.
This has been incredible. We've covered so much ground today, from the extraordinary garden of our minds
It's been quite a journey.
to the towering lighthouse of our purpose.
Yes.
From the sumo wrestler's embodiment of Kaizen to these 10 powerful rituals for transforming our lives.
And what's amazing is how relevant these ancient teachings remain in our modern world.
Right. It's like this timeless wisdom
It is timeless.
that's just as applicable today as it was thousands of years ago.
It's a roadmap for navigating the challenges of life.
Right.
And creating a more fulfilling and meaningful existence.
And I love that it's not about achieving some distant state of perfection.
No, not at all.
It's about taking those small, consistent steps day after day
Exactly.
to cultivate the life that you want.
As they would say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
I love it. And on that note, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. Remember Yogi Raman the sage who told Julian the story of Peter and the magic thread?
Yeah.
Well, he had a saying, "Don't wish your life away by longing for what's next. The greatest treasures are often found in the present moment."
So true.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's all try to be a little more present, a little more grateful, and a little more intentional with our actions starting today.
I love that. Let's make every day a step towards creating the extraordinary lives we were meant to live.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us for this incredible deep dive. We'll see you next time for another journey into the depths of knowledge and self-discovery.